Evening, Red Sox Nation. Thanks for tuning in. It's kind of a downtrodden week this week for the hometown ball club, but Dennis and Kevin are here to try and talk me off the ledge this week on AfterBuzz TV's Red Sox Wrap 360.
Let's do this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Tough year for music in
Oh
2016.
boy, we are just losing icons left and right. It's a sad day.
Tough
57 years old. He's a young man.
Yeah.
Whew, he goes down this week. Pearl Washington goes down. Rest in peace, Pearl and Prince.
Yeah.
Oof, terrible. Oh, you know who else is, well, no, that's a bad segue. But the Red Sox. I mean, this team that we were just brimming with optimism all about. I mean, and they dash our hopes on the home opener. So we're one of the very fortunate teams to have almost like a second home opener with that Patriots Day game.
Yes.
So you can get back at them. We got old, wily, long-tenured Clay Buchholz in here. Maybe he's going to show us something. And he does.
Yes.
Right off the top.
He did.
But then something that's been a little too familiar here in the opening going, Koji and Kimbrel implode. Give up 4 in the 8th. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Well,
was a
that was
sad day.
just Koji. That was his first, was it not? And then he gets nearly a week off, which I guess we could talk about that a little later on.
Yeah. We will touch upon that because that is puzzling. But yeah, so that gives them. They drop that one, so they end up splitting for Toronto at home, and so that puts them in a situation where they're 4-6 homestand. That's not a very good homestand for a team that wants to be, in the playoff picture this year.
It's a little concerning right now, but again, I'm going to kind of stick to my mantra of the quality of teams they're playing. Now, hopefully we can start picking this up, but they have played some really good teams. And the Rays, another good team that they went up against this week. And
apparently all the Rays needed was a little Fenway cooking because they weren't hitting the ball at all. They were like worse than the AL in runs scored, and then they just come to Fenway and start blowing things up.
Serving it up.
yeah.
It's very sad.
A lot of good signs for the Red Sox early, I feel like, but unfortunately they're kind of out of sync with themselves, it seems like, a little bit.
You look at all the things that are going well and all the players that are off to pretty good starts, and you would think, okay, this is a team that's over 500, but that's not the case.
Right.
It's a little bit disconcerting. One thing to take out of that away from that Patriots Day game was Buchholz did have a great start.
Right.
6.2, no runs. So that's a step in the right direction. And even his start later in the week on Saturday, it wasn't that bad. I don't know why he, after making a dude who's a dead fastball hitter look foolish on 2 straight curves, does he come back to the fastball and he deposits in the right field seats? I mean, that's a little crazy. But he was pitching pretty well up until that point. I mean, if he buzzes that, and he was caught looking at the knees, we're not talking about that. But he did have a little bit more of the plate than you really want. But yeah, so
but there are, there's some good things
just trying to stay with the silver linings.
There are some good things. I'm loving the way Hanram is playing first base. I mean,
that's true,
dude. He's got like the stretch down, like he was practicing it all off season. I mean, he's stretching on the double plays like a serious stretch.
Yeah,
and he looks comfortable out there. Mookie's playing well. We see it.
He's starting to rake now.
he is starting to rake.
And Petey, defensively, man, I don't know. It's not that I'm surprised because he's such a solid defensive player, but he's made some sneaky plays in the field this year. That just, you forget how solid he can be when he's playing every single day. That you miss those plays. But I mean, he's a great relay guy. Yeah. I love watching him take a relay and try and pass that throw onto the whatever base it's going to.
Did it again this week, right? Oh no, was that Bogarts on the relay this week that pegged? What's his name? Going for the triple? Altuve?
Well, Petey had one tonight.
Oh, nice.
And I think he might have had another one earlier. I think he had 2 this week.
Oh, that's sick. I know there's that one we talked about last week.
Yeah, where he turned and spun.
Yeah. I don't want to No, I won't say it. I was gonna say it was.
Don't use those words.
I was. Did you know I was gonna say it was kind of Jeter-like.
Yeah.
But that isn't something
it
we
is.
should.
Right.
You know, just the fact that it really probably isn't his ball and he's come across it to make it happen. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. The one Petey had was last night. The play that got reviewed. It wasn't tonight. It was a play that got reviewed, and I think they ended up keeping it. It was like almost straight out of it was Travis Shaw's at third base and did a dead man's fake just at the last second, stuck his hand out, and Petey.
Yeah. That was on Altuve's,
Altuve's
trying to make it a triple.
Exactly. Yeah,
And,
that was Petey.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And it was Travis Shaw that made an unbelievable. They really made him look silly.
Yeah.
He did that whole Mike Schmidt.
Oh, it's
kinda
not
just
coming in. Stay up.
And then and they caught him going in, standing up, and Petey made an unbelievable play.
Luckily, Gary Pettis played along with that dead man look too from Travis because he was like, "Stay up."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
what was that all
even
about?
maybe even faked out the base coach. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you taking your keys off of the third baseman, or are you watching the ball?
Seriously, that was a bit odd. Yeah, they called him out on the replay too. They had him in slow motion replay say up and right here. It's like, yeah.
And he was a good base runner his day too,
Yeah.
but he might be looking for work. Oh man. Oh, it's pretty crazy. So then, they get over to Toronto, and you figure Tampa's coming in, and, they haven't been scoring a lot of runs. No big deal. So the Sox don't score runs, and they lose 3-0 in that first game.
Right.
I mean, they only muster one hit. Drew Smiley has the Red Sox number. He just was lights out. He went 8 strong, 11 Ks, 2 walks, allowing 1 hit. So the bats were definitely not going that day. That was the game that Joe Kelly left after
right.
2 batters.
Yeah.
So they're calling that, and this is a new one for me,
This was new for me as well.
right shoulder impingement.
Impingement.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
What is a right
It's
shoulder
advanced
impingement?
science right there.
I was reading
Science.
about it. It's not terrible. That was the only. That's what I got out
Right.
of it. It's not something that's really like guaranteed. You're like heading towards surgery. It's just something that can be fixed within, hopefully 15 days.
Yeah.
I think you just rub dirt on it. Pretty sure.
That's
Yeah,
it.
just
It's
put
ball
some
play.
dirt on it.
Yeah.
And, this is something we kind of talked about here in the early going as well, where we have a bunch of guys in this lineup that are going to be not going over that 160 innings pitched limit, this year. And, so having, little things like this, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Make sure you get the guy right so we get his best 160 innings as opposed to, maybe 20 he's throwing with a impinged right shoulder.
We don't like any impingements.
No.
Keep the impingements away.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
right.
it's like,
2016 feels like that one.
I mean, does that come down from Dr. James Andrew? Is he throwing that around there?
It must be.
Impingements?
Yeah, he's probably got a trademark on that one.
Ooh, boy.
But we do have some guys coming off injury. It's very exciting kind
Yeah, it
of turn that we have. We've been talking about kind of tracking, but I mean, we got Erod probably making a start within the next week or two. They're saying, and he's probably gonna make 3 starts down there.
Rehab starts, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got Carson Smith. They're saying he could be back
This
for
coming
the
week,
Yankees.
right? Yankees.
The
Okay.
Yankees series.
Okay.
But he's going to be in Pawtucket. They're going to try and give him back-to-back nights at least once or twice, I think.
And we could use him
Yeah.
No
big
question.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was a circus midweek. Was it the second Tampa game?
The Price
or
game or
the third game? I think it was. Yeah, because he didn't want to go into the pen. They brought that kid up from AAA, and he was like,
Yeah. But
was a
all it
weird
takes
week,
is
man.
that one game with Joe Kelly. I mean, that
That's true.
destroys a bullpen.
"That's true."
There's days of repercussion for an outing like that, and they came in and pitched well, but still,
Pitched great.
They're awesome, but still, I mean, the weight of what happened there is just it's huge.
that sends those repercussions. That's why it's important to have that AAA team right there, right down 95. You know,
Yeah.
some of these teams have their AAA teams a flight away. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. It's
I know, that's
why
kinda
would
weird.
you do that? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we got another hard thrower coming up, Pat.
light.
Pat Light, he came up today to
100 gets up to 100 miles an hour. We'll take that.
we just might. I mean, so we got get some guys we trust out there in the bullpen, because you already see like Tazawa and Koji getting overworked.
Right.
And in that midweek game, there was like perfect Koji time. It's like he sat him, and this kid, AAA. I gotta remember this kid's name, but
Can we give Tazawa some love, by the way? I feel like that guy is just constantly
He's
delivering the goods.
He's
The guy's kind
pretty
of the
much the
unsung
utility
hero,
man
you know?
of the pitching staff right now.
Right.
right.
You know.
I was saying to Kev before the show, I feel encouraged, though, overall. I mean, granted, like, all the stuff they're going through right now, injuries, all the hiccups, the blown saves, guys not really producing. I feel encouraged by the fact that they're, you know, if they get out of this game tonight, they could be 500. I think it's, you know, there's some encouraging signs, too. Guys are rounding a corner. You hit on the fact that Clay's starting to deal a little bit. He gave up a meatball, but other than that, his two best starts, you know, the last two consecutive.
That's true.
Porcello's been looking better.
Yeah, he
Price-
only gave up one huge bomb in his last start,
Yeah,
as
seriously.
opposed to two.
But you got to hope, you
This is
know,
pre-prescribed too.
that Price like gets that out of his system and now, you know, starts dealing. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of easy to be optimistic about a guy like David Price, you know, because he
Right.
has the track record and stuff. But even still, you know,
Right.
I'm a Red Sox fan. You know, this guy's always falling. You know, and so you look at a guy like David Price, you know, and he gets hit around. I mean, let's look at his numbers here in the early on.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
It's not looking too good.
Well, his control has been an issue, right? That's pretty much kind of what's led to a lot of this hitting around. Am I wrong there? Is his control different than what it's been? I mean, I feel like he's walking and his balls thrown are a lot more than.
Yeah, I mean,
what
he
he's-
doesn't seem to be, you know, I guess 6 is an odd number of walks for him to have, but, you know, it just seems like he's not that fine with his pitches.
Right.
You know, not so much that he's walking guys, but he's getting too much of the plate, you know, to the wrong guys. But
He is getting a lot of Ks though.
Yep.
his record's unblemished. That's unbelievable.
It
He's
is
2-0.
unbelievable. It is
It just
unbelievable.
goes to show you how wins don't really mean anything. And he's got a 7.06 ERA.
Yikes.
So, you know, that's a guy that makes $31 million a year.
How many walks? You said he only had 6 walks.
6 walks, 32
That's
Ks.
actually not too bad.
That's a pretty good.
That's not bad. So he is just
Ratio.
getting hit around basically.
Yeah, they're hitting 278 versus him, 276. So his whip isn't that good. He's got a 1.38 whip. So yeah.
Whip it real
But-
good.
The oh boy, the yeah. So you got him with that stat line, and then you got another guy making about 1/62 of what he's making at about $500,000 a year, Mr. Stephen Wright, the knuckleballer who we all love, and he's just made nothing but a great account of himself, and picked himself up a win this week with another great outing. They finally scored some runs for him.
And he's probably about too short of where he should be. I mean, he's
Yeah.
So that's another. I mean, if we got someone down the end of this rotation, someone's between Buchholz and Price, we're gonna get there. I feel like at the top of the rotation, I really do. That's something that's gonna take some time, maybe. I mean, it's a huge contract. He's still as happy, smiling, and he's saying all the right things. He's still moved to a completely new city, and now he's moved around there on the road. And it's
Yeah.
like, there's an adjustment. I'm making excuses for making $30 million, but
No question.
It's still early. It's still really early, and I'd like to see them go in and take advantage of the Yankees. Go in and take advantage. Atlanta hasn't started out really well.
Right.
If they can go in and kind of make sure they win that series.
Yeah.
If they could beat the Yankees, get on a little bit of a roll here.
They got that odd like home and home, right? With the Atlanta coming up. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
So it's like 2 at Atlanta and then 2 at Fenway, or vice versa, or
Yeah, the next two are at Atlanta.
at Atlanta, and then
Yeah.
two back at Fenway versus the same Braves, and then we got 3 in the Bronx versus,
believe
or
so.
is it at home?
Let's see.
But
We got a couple genies over here, supposed to remember all that?
yeah, wow, you're really good,
whiz
Mr.
guy.
Genie.
The Yankees have been struggling.
Yeah, I they still seem to pull out wins now and again. So
Of
they're
course.
like, I want them to sink like a stone. In these first, 30 games without Aroldis Chapman, I wanted them to be like 10 and 20. The problem is their bullpen is still sick
Yep.
with Betances and Miller. Still
They have a
on the
hard throwing
bullpen, so.
bullpen.
Yeah. So we got what?
You were right there, home and home with Atlanta,
Home and home
and
with
then Yanks are at Boston.
Oh, okay, cool.
Boston for that 3-game set.
Nice.
So, and
in God's country.
oh yeah. But like Price at 31 mil a year, it's like you're almost in a situation where even if the guy's getting shelled, he's got to go 7.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to get his 115 pitches in. I mean, just to not be in this pickle with the bullpen.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, it's like, I mean, I guess like we were talking about before, that the I-95 drive, you know, no big deal. I mean, Kevin Youkiels will tell you all about going up and down on that one in the season. But, you know, so it's good to have him close so you can do stuff like this. But this is like going to be like this for the next couple weeks until, you know, we can get guys back to normal, you know. And,
Yeah, and it's that time of the season now where we, you know, I wouldn't be afraid of, like, I wouldn't be mad if he went out and pitched 8 innings, you know, 112 pitches, you know, for a 2-0 win. I mean, that's, you know.
who, Price?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of what
Anybody.
you would, you know.
That'd be great.
31 million, though, you know.
Yeah.
Roll the dice, there you go. Give me
But
one of
even
those.
like the other day, it's like, okay, you're after like 3 2/3, you know, and you gave up 8. Well, guess what? We still need 40 pitches out of you. You're getting 31 million,
Right?
You know, like you almost. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I guess you got to have.
He's going to be an innings eater. I mean, that's, you know, he's going to get there. I really do believe he's going to get there. And we got some nice up-and-coming guys that have pitched out of the bullpen that you wouldn't expect.
Heath Hembry.
I mean,
has got to
yeah.
be up to stay.
You know?
I mean, he is just so good.
earning the
Certainly
spot.
making his case.
Yeah, he was unbelievable the other day. 3 1/3, only gave up 2 hits, struck out 4, walked none, and also, old boy with the mohullet, Robbie Ross Jr., a guy at kind of land base from time to time. He goes 3 strong, only allowing 1 hit and 4 Ks, no walks too. So he's been pretty good in the early going too. And then Tazawa chipped in and Kimbrel did, but then you know Bonds lit it up in the 10th, but. You know, you can't rely on your bullpen to, you know, put up zeros all the time, especially when you're kind of supposed to be a hitting ball club, you know, and built around that. So, we'll get Carson Smith back, and hopefully kind of that'll put things in a line. It certainly looks like Heath Hembry is a piece. I mean, that kid was throwing dots on the black, you know, this week. So,
And he's doing it again tonight.
God love the kid, you know.
What do you think's going to happen with Pablo? Where are we going with?
Oh, boy.
You know,
Panda
I
Watch.
have to
Went
go
there.
there.
Panda
You know,
Watch.
I always go there. I want to know.
You're our guy, you know, for keeping us up on the Panda Watches.
Right. Well, it's been, you know, it's been quiet, obviously, because he's on the DL.
Oh, that's quiet.
Yeah, wasn't there something where there was too much going on in that show, so he couldn't like get the proper
Yeah,
tests?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's a lot
That
of
makes a
like
lot of sense,
ambiguities
yeah.
going on.
I mean, this everything that's come out. I just keep thinking back to when he came into camp or whatever, and he looked so fat, and they were like, "Yeah, but his body fat's like 3%," and I was like, "You're actually
3%?
standing in front of a microphone.
His body
and you
fat is
said-
in 23%.
Right. You know what I mean? And it was just ridiculous.
Wow.
And they actually
Right.
tried to defend that. And it's like, ever since then, I'm like, anything that you're saying about this guy is
Yeah.
pretty much complete garbage. It was like I was saying that last time. They had an MRI, and there's a lot going on in there, like a shoulder muscle and a couple tendons, and it looks like there's blood flowing. And now it's like, oh, he went to Dr. Andrews to get inspected, but the swelling was too much for him to even come up with a diagnosis. It's like, really? I've never even heard of that for guys that like ruptured their whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, how is that an excuse to like, oh no, just in case we have to put him on the 30-day. You know, we'll keep this open-ended. I don't know.
Yeah,
body
keep it
fat's
open-ended as long as it means you're adding more days on DL fam. That's fine.
It's an ugly situation, though.
I mean, it's where does it go? I don't see how this is going to resolve itself. I don't see the plan on either. You know, I don't see the Red Sox plan really. I'm not saying they don't have one. I just don't understand.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm thinking they're like,
seems like-
dude, you're going to be on the DL until you trim down a little bit. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's just that simple.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to go down to AAA. You don't want to be on the 4A team with a being a bit player. You know,
Right.
then we got to DL you. You know, keep coming up with those shoulder ailments. Maybe it's a
An impingement.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be an impingement.
He might have
Are those
brain
contagious?
impingement.
Yeah.
You think they're contagious?
He's certainly no impingements in his stomach. The guy's just like tears through every. Now it's just like people coming out of the woodwork, hotel workers. Yeah, I found him munching on a bowl of chicken in the closet. And, you know what I mean? It's just like everyone's just like coming out of the closet. Clearly, no one had all these things to say when the Sox were trying to sign or were in the process of signing, or maybe they did and they just like turned a blind, eye to it. But I mean, what happened there? How did we end up with this guy?
Tom Warner was blinded by panda hats sales.
Yeah,
he's
pink
just
panda
like,
hats.
He's just, wow. He's like, look at all the panda hats we can get in there. You know how cold it is here in October and April. Oh, panda hats. Yeah. It's just terrible, Oh, boy. So they let the Rays take 2 out of 3 from him in Fenway. It's just a sad day. And now they're on the verge of potentially letting Astros take 2 out of 3 from them.
It's not pretty.
Why would you even say that?
Smells like a rally to me right now.
Smells like a rally.
Yeah.
Smells like a rally.
I mean, we're going to go there, or are we going to...
No. We're going to keep hedging around it until we get a final.
It smelled similar to a collapse earlier, but
yeah.
Now it's smelling like a rally.
Ooh, smelling like a rally. So it was good to see that bullpen coming around, but then it was the situation where you brought up this kid Cuevas, right?
Oh boy,
and it was just like William Cuevas. Hey, welcome to the show, and we're gonna throw you out. You might think he'd be doing mop up duty, but he came in like a 1-run game.
Yeah,
and was kind of right in the mix, right off the top, like baptism by fire. First out of the pen, old Matty Barnes. Was his usual ineffective self, and had to bring in Cuevas, and then old Noe Ramirez, this year's white flag, I think, out of the Red Sox bullpen, or as I like to call him, no way we got a chance of winning this one, Ramirez.
Well, he's back down in Pawtucket.
He is. He's making that trek too.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, because someone had to go down for Matt Light's little brother to come up.
Yeah.
Is it really?
No.
Not a chance.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
I tend to be a Farrell apologist, but that was a head scratcher there, leaving the kid in.
It was pretty clear that he was just like, okay, I'm not using Koji and I'm not using Kimbrel.
Right.
But it was like there was time for Tazawa to maybe come in there while it was still a 1-run game, and then hopefully your bats get going and you can bring in somebody else, but to maybe like close it down, but. It seemed like he was had decided on that he was just not going to touch Koji and not going to touch Kimbrel. Did they even go on, like they imploded on Monday, but Koji didn't go on Tuesday, did he?
He hasn't gone until tonight.
Right.
It's almost a full week.
But back to that thing that we were talking about earlier when my cousin was giving me crap about hot takes. Well, here's my hot take for this season.
Hot take. This is a little segment we like to call
Hot Takes.
Hot Takes.
This is Matt Clow's invention.
Dr.
Hot
Finn.
Takes, okay? Dr. Finn is... I'm typically a John Farrell apologist or defender. I've kind of lost faith in his in-game management this season, and I think he's lost at least... Out of these losses that we've had this season, I think he's responsible for 1 to 2. I mean, he has had some terrible... in-game management that's just not really defensible, doesn't make any sense the next day. Everybody's all over him, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and then you think back, it's like, why are you doing that? Why have you done that? Why, it's like what you're talking about. He's done it with pinch hitting moves. Right. I mean, very sedentary, with some of the moves. Seems like you're saying maybe he's realized a little self-awareness that he's not that great in game, so he's trying to come up with pre-game strategy, and then he's sticking to him the same way. I mean, the whole thing when he said he had to get Chris Young at bats, and he, leaves him in.
Chris Young can't hit. He hasn't found that out yet. He can't hit a righty.
It feels like he's pressing. Like maybe the rumors are getting to him. That's the sense I'm getting. Hot take.
Yeah.
It feels like he's pressing though.
It's a hot take.
Even tonight's game, which is still pending. It's another blown save, but it feels like to me it's April. It's late April. He's managing the game like it's October. You know what I mean? We're out there trying to win this game. It just feels like a desperate management strategy here.
Well, I would say kind of the almost the exact opposite. Like he got
fine then.
But like in that game where he wouldn't bring in anybody and he let the kids stay in Cuevas,
yeah.
it was like that was like, and I'm not saying what's right or wrong in this. It's easy for us to come with our hindsight hot takes. But
Well, there it is. It's evolving.
Yeah, it is. And but like, you almost have to stick with your guns. If you say, hey, listen, this guy's 41 years old, I'm not touching him today. Even if it becomes a tight game, you got to kind of stay away from him. But to have him and Kimbrel both not available on the same day, that's just
Bad
lack
managing.
of foresight.
Right, yeah, it's bad managing.
Bad managing, bad caddying.
Littering
You're a good kid. Good kid. Good caddy.
You're a good caddy, Danny. Good egg Noonan. One thing that was great to get to see going, because it was a guy that was in a little bit of a 2-for-21 slump, Mr. Mookie Betts. And you can see how, I almost said prolific, productive. I want to pump the brakes on saying prolific, but how productive this offense is when he gets out there and he gets it going.
Yeah.
And it's like, it seems like the start of the season, the top of the order wasn't really hitting. It was kind of the middle of the order, and now it's like the top of the order, and like now Poppy's kind of cooling off and Hanram's kind of cooling off a little bit. The one constant who continuously rakes, Travis Shaw.
Yes.
Kid's doing his thing.
Kid is a stud.
X-Man took a pitch on the hand the other night. He was back starting tonight, but he's played pretty well offensively too. He's just quietly been consistent.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of how his season was last year, where he was quietly consistent, and then he had like 2 5-week stretches where he was
Crazy
just
streak.
locked in. Yeah, so
I'll take those guys all day.
those.
I love
Absolutely.
those guys.
Like when he's at his worst, he's a 270 hitter.
You know what I mean?
But then he'll just go on a month stretch while he'll hit 350.
400, yeah, exactly.
You know? So yeah, you gotta have that guy. Youngest Red Sox player ever to win the Silver Slugger Award,
Yes.
Xander Bogaerts. But yeah, it was great to get Betts going. He had that game where he almost hit for the cycle.
Yes.
It's probably even more difficult, 2 triples instead of the cycle.
I mean, I'm a huge believer in the leadoff hitter being like basically, he's the quarterback almost of that offense.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't have a better one.
it's just he does everything well. You know what I mean? He runs the bases well. He's fast. Yeah, I think he had a stolen base tonight.
He looks good.
He's who you want leading off for the Red Sox.
So the Cleveland Indians offer you Michael Brantley and Carlos Carrasco for him in 2 weeks. You don't take it.
No. I like Mookie, man. I like our squad.
He's unbelievable. He can't miss.
Yeah.
They really like him over there.
Yeah. Well, we like him over here more.
That's it. But if starting pitching continues to be the worst in the league, I think besides the Astros, ERA wise, then
He's untouchable, I would say, no?
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, he's
if there's an untouchable on the squad, it's him.
Yeah, no question.
I would say he's number 1 untouchable.
Yeah.
Xander's number 2.
You think he's over Xander, huh? Really?
It's just something about this kid, man.
Yeah,
He's just
he's
got the
electric.
quickest hands I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah.
And it like to have those hands and like. He just never gets down. Like even when he's a slump, he's just the same, and he's just like, okay, I'm a sponge. See him, what did I do wrong? And he's just like, he's just in those hands. It's just like, bloop, and it's gone, and it's like 15 rows deep.
It's like,
Bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
It's just like, bloop, bloop,
Nailed it.
It's like me down the
Base
Batcave in the 50 mile an hour.
softball.
I can't hit a 50 mile an hour softball.
No,
Are you kidding
no.
me? Whew, that's
That would
coming.
be
That's
some
coming
heat.
in
It'd be
hot.
like a knuckleball.
Yeah, it's like I'm slow pitch softball at best. Oh man, so that was a little discouraging to drop 2 out of 3, especially with Price getting shelled. Price this week, it's not going to get any easier for him. He's going Tuesday in a Tuesday game, and he's going up against, and this has the potential for a pitcher's duel if Price can hold up his end of the bargain, because going for Atlanta's kid Matt Whistler, he actually got traded for Kimbrel from the Padres. There you go. And he is legit. 23 years old. He was in a duel with Kershaw last week. Mm-hmm. He's definitely legit. So David Price better bring it here on Tuesday.
I'd say he's due.
Yeah, he's definitely due. So our whole idea of coming at you a little later this week at midnight Eastern time was because the Sox were on a 8 o'clock Eastern time, first pitch. They're still going, gang. They're 5-5 here in the 12th. If you have foregone sleep to watch this, God love you. You're a good Sox fan. But they have this is the Fans.
Yeah, fans.
Yes.
There's got to be more than one person that stayed up to listen to this on the East Coast.
Oh, no question. I always thinking they'd be watching the game.
Yeah. Just be listening to us and not the game. You know what I mean?
Your parents, and then those are the two.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
Cash is probably watching us right now.
Oh,
He's
boy.
at home. He wants back in the studio bad.
He is. He's our number one fan. He's our number one fan. No doubt about it. Oh man.
So we got Hannigan up in the top of the 12th.
Hannigan, make some hay, buddy. And over
Got
high
two
zone.
guys on, 2 outs.
Yard ball.
Oof.
Yeah.
No, it's not looking
Not so
good.
much.
There's a hole in that bat. Get a new one. Get a new one. So yeah, 2 out of 3. They lose to Tampa, and so now they split the first 2 with Houston. And it'd be nice to get this win on the road. Winning series on the road is always huge. So then we got the home and home. So no off day this week, and we come with the hated Yankees. I mean, if we could just split with Atlanta, but take 2 out of 3 from the Yanks, I'll be fine with that.
I want 3 out of 4 from
3 out of 4.
We
from
need to
the-
get some momentum.
We do have to get
here.
momentum because we got to get over that 500 mark.
Yeah, and this is not a good vibe that they have going on right now. So
There's been some heartbreakers, man.
This was a bad, this would be a bad game to lose tonight. Kimball came in again. I think can we get into this game a little bit?
Let's do it.
5-3, pretty good, solid combined effort tonight to get the Sox to the point where it's 5-3.
Right.
I thought they pulled Owens a little early, especially with the bullpen being overtaxed. He was at about like high 70s in pitches. Still had a lead.
Did you see him try and feel that ground ball? He looked like Big Bird on ice skates. What's happening?
I think we're
man?
going to see a lot of that.
I mean, that was enough to pull him right there. I was like, yeah, sorry, you just embarrassed us. You embarrassed all baseball players around the world.
Hanram made a nice pick on that play.
That's what amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got the stretch and the one hop down.
He's showing us a little something over there. It's too bad his bat is cooled off.
Bases juiced.
Yeah, he'll come back around though.
Hannigan walked. Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So who we got? JBJ up.
Oh, there's
who we
one
got?
out. Bases loaded, top of the 12th. JBJ.
make this happen. Oh yeah.
Clean them all out.
This
JBJ.
wouldn't exactly qualify as a hot take, but I'll throw this one out
Yeah,
there.
throw some hot takes in there.
It's not quite a hot take.
Oh, it's
In case
not?
you didn't
This
hear
is a
my
lukewarm take.
disclaimer. Not a hot take, just a general comment.
Warm takes.
Does anyone else feel like it's curious the way JBJ is constantly Willie Mays hazing it out there with the fly balls? Does it put any fear into your hearts when you see him? It's an interesting approach, I would say, though.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, the guy's solid as they've ever come, but
yeah.
it's just an interesting approach.
I trust him implicitly out there.
This falls into the general commentary section.
Yeah, I mean, if he starts, I mean, what? Just because he's catching
not
with one
hot
hand
dogging
and
it, but
he's in the stride.
Yeah, it's not like he's
got
hot
style
dogging it, but
points.
he's.
you could
It's just
center
like an
fielder.
interesting.
And sometimes you're shielding that sun. You got to time, and you're shielding it, so you're kind of looking like maybe Willie Mays hazing it, but you really just
Right.
getting that. He does have a little flip of style, but I used to love Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson. I mean, come on.
At least
Snap.
he's not flapping the thing.
yeah.
That would drive me crazy, But yeah, I mean, I just love the jumps he gets. I
yeah.
mean, and it's like he made a diving catch in that Tampa series, where everybody was like running around to get it, and it was just like, oh, dive,
Yeah.
JBJ.
I mean,
makes it happen.
it's at the point now where I'm fully convinced if the ball comes off the bat and there's a human on Earth that could catch it, then he's going to catch
Right.
it. If he doesn't catch it, then oh well, there's no other human on Earth that could have caught that.
It's true.
You know what I
His
mean?
jumps are incredible.
It's incredible. That's why when he does that yes,
There it
And he
is.
gets a little back going.
There it is.
Hamram crosses with the 6th run, 6-5,
Nice.
top of the 12th.
and the bench is fired up. They needed that. It was definitely demoralizing to see Kimbrel give up a moonshot to Rasmus, who did it last night.
Oh man.
And I mean, they were fired up after Rasmus did it. He went down to the dugout, and it was like football time down there.
Both days I had Rasmus on my bench on my
That's a
fantasy
good call.
team.
That's why you're the best.
I mean, they're playing the Sox. I'm a Red Sox fan first. Fantasy
Wow.
player second. You know what I'm saying?
you don't really
lose,
take that
Charlie.
into the.
It's early.
fantasy
It's early in the
field.
season.
lose, Charlie.
I think another round for CC is going to right the ship and make the playoffs this year. So
They need a W of this ilk, I would say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Get
They
us
haven't
going.
really
Get
had
us
too many of
rolling.
these.
and pick up a Kimbrel, who's like,
Right.
looking a little bit more like an arsonist than a lockdown closer at this
Ever
point.
since you brought up the fear about him, it's never left. It's been like in the back of my mind, like a devil back there.
we need
Because it
more
just
of
made
those.
too much sense to me, and I was like, oh God, he's
Yeah, so half the time he looks good, looks good as advertised, but
tonight he
doesn't
came
have
in,
that
had an
pinpoint control.
awesome K,
Yeah.
and
Well, did he come in clean ninth? That's
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, I think he had 2 Ks. There was 2 outs, and it was all done with 2 outs.
And then did he walk a guy?
No, it was the shortstop Carrera. I think had a double,
That kid's a stud.
and then Rasmus got up and just
Crushed
jacked
it.
one
Crushed it.
into the bullpen.
Do you think Farrell will ever get in a situation where he brings Kimbrel in the 8th? If there's like big, not that he's warranted being really the number one guy.
To
out of the
deal
bullpen
2 or
right now.
to flip flop? Because I'm
To
thinking
flip-flop.
I'm thinking if he blows another one
Well, there's an issue.
anytime soon, the
Koji's back in
coach
there.
man's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look at the guys who are good at this. You can spread these out over a season, and they don't do what he's done.
Right.
Within the first month.
Yeah.
So gotta have a short leash. We can't. This team cannot be giving up leads. We're not built that way.
Oh,
No team's built that way. But
yeah. No, I hear you.
I think it's definitely on the table though. I mean, it feels. I know you maybe disagree, but I do feel like the desperate times, desperate measures right now. And Dombrowski, we kind of hit on a few weeks back, but I feel like anything's
now.
on the table. Yeah, they're out here trying to win.
I guess I'm not asking so much as a general flip flop. Like, okay, you're my closer and you're my setup man.
Right.
I'm looking for like a manager to get out of those roles where you're my 8th inning guy no matter what. You're my 7th inning, and just
best
have a
player
belief.
available, basically.
Yeah, and like whoever's pitching good at that time, whether it be Koji or whether it be Kimbrel, is going to get that 3, 4, 5 when that comes up. If that's in the 8th, then that's in the 8th. If that's
Yeah.
in the 9th, it's in the 9th. If it's in the 7th.
well,
maybe
you
you're
might
doing
see your
that.
boy Hembry get a bigger role because I think he's in line to get the win tonight.
Oh, it'd be nice. Who's on the bump right now? Who pitched the last half inning?
I think it was Hembry.
Was Hembry?
Yeah, Hembry. Yeah.
Nice. Well, hopefully they leave him in there. Well, who's left, really? Maybe we see the flamethrower Matt Light.
Your boy.
Oh,
Don't get
I
him
want to see him
excited.
his major league debut. Would you do that to him? Mo? Would you do that
You
to
did
the
it to
kid?
Kid Cuevas the
Yeah.
other night.
I
Yeah, we'll
know.
put you right in the fire. I
I
actually
kinda like
don't
that.
mind that.
I like
yeah,
that.
I do too.
Because sometimes they just have like dumb strength. It's just like you know the situation, but you really don't know the depth of the
Right.
situation. Just go out and
He's
work
gonna be
on
out there
energy.
in front of about 25
Yeah.
Houston fans. It
Jeez.
looks like too. So
Show
might
some
not be
pride, Houston.
not exactly high stakes out there.
Oh man. So just looking ahead to the matchups this week. Obviously Monday pitching matchup's going to be Rick Porcello against Julio Teheran. He's making a claim for that number 2 spot in the rotation. Porcello,
Yeah.
striking out a bunch of guys. Seems like the Vasquez effect has really
it's
been
helping
good
him
with
out.
him. But he's
Yeah.
been pretty reasonably solid all year.
Yeah.
Besides the giving up moonshots now and again. But he does have a scene. He does seem to like.
Daily dose of
He doesn't seem to do it with like one on or a solo shot. So I'll
Right.
give him that. So
Whoa.
I guess he just really comes after those guys when he's got the bases
some.
empty.
Oh,
Take
boy.
that
Oh
run.
boy. All right.
Additional
Sox
run.
up 7-5, top of 12. Somebody chase
They need
Hannigan
this
down the
W.
third baseline with an extinguisher. That guy has wheels. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, craziness.
It's like a first grade substitute teacher.
Oh boy, Dragon and Anvil.
That's good stuff.
Oh,
Oh, that's the Kevin Finn play right there.
oh. When you got hurt?
Yeah.
Is that Randall Bonilla charging down the third baseline? Oh
Bobby
boy.
Jones.
Get some.
Oh,
Get some.
Well,
he's
that's a
easily
2-run
safe.
lead.
that's 2-run lead. So hopefully we have somebody out there that can come in. Is Koji still available?
Yes.
No, the coach man pitched the 8th.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
okay.
he did.
That's right.
He did. Yeah.
Tazawa's already gone too, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
It's another.
maybe Heath Embry for another inning. You know?
He looks. He's good. I think he had the jacket on just now, like on the one-arm jacket, 90s style.
He's not going anywhere if he comes out and shuts this game down.
Oh yeah, he's up for good. Unless he's too overworked, and now
No,
he's gotta
needs
bring him a fresh
needs a
shot.
week off.
Yeah.
He
You
needs a
know,
week off.
especially if old D Price keeps going with, 3 or 4 innings pitched, an outing. Oof, boy, we'll see Tuesday. Hopefully he rights the ship. I think he's going to come back hard.
No question.
And Atlanta's not the most fearsome hitting lineup. Unfortunately, we're not going to be on air enough to see this game. We're going to pretty much eject now and go catch the last half inning, maybe at a
local watering hole?
Local watering hole, perhaps. One I can't give a shout out to right now. But, yeah, anything else you want to say before we sign off, guys? You want to give your Twitters out there just in case people want to hit you up on the tweets, talk to you about some Red Sox this week?
Sure. It's at Kevin F. Finn.
And I'm at Deehaas, Deehaas.
Oh, yeah.
Giants had a no-hitter on Saturday yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Double-A Giants.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, we'll talk more about that in the postgame as well. Hey, gangs, thanks for tuning in. For Kevin Dennis, I'm Mike Conley. This has been AfterBuzz TV's Red Sox Wrap 360. Thanks, guys. Go Sox.
Go Sox.
Happy birthday, Paul.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.